A what?
A happy family.
You just want a happy family? Anything else?
And butter.
Butter.
Yeah.
Just happy family and butter?
Yeah.
That's all you want for Christmas is happy family and a butter for the new year.
Yeah.
For the whole new year, you just want happy family and butter.
Yeah.
You're funny.
I'm talking about brother.
Oh, brother. Oh, my God. Peace, 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 y'all. Peace. Hope everyone is enjoying their day. Put this heat down a little bit so you guys can hear me. I'm going to put a seatbelt on before it goes off. Yes, I hope everyone is having a great day. 2026 is finally here, you guys. The whole week of 2026 is almost done. How y'all doing out there? How's 2026 starting out for you? Like, how are y'all really feeling? My son and his foolishness. Okay. Let me see something. Yep, that's him. First week of 2026. First week of 2026 was very eye-opening for me, right? I think being silent has taught me a lot about self-preservation. Even in my channelings, right? It has taught me a lot about self-preservation and what it is I genuinely want for myself, right? I think a lot of times what we tend to do is we try to idealize things through, other people instead of ourselves, right? So what that looks like is you'll meet people and you almost put this expectation on them because they give you little glimpses of those things that you want to like for yourself. That like and want has to start with you, right? Are you able to, in those expectations, see that in yourself to the point where you're comfortable enough that when things don't necessarily work out with people, you're okay being by yourself, right? That was a very hard pill that I thought I already swallowed, right? It's like, a lot of times we tend to have what we call, and I'm starting to notice that may have been something that I've dealt with in my past, and now I'm trying to heal through it, is what we call anxious attachment, right? We like to hold on to things that we feel are similar to us. We like to hold on to things that we feel like suppress us in emotions. We like to hold on to things that make us feel things, right? But we can feel a lot. But the question is, are you being poured into? And I look at that in a sense of, sometimes we like to put things and compartmentalize things and put things into boxes, right? And when we look at that box, what exactly does that mean? Because it's not a problem with putting things in a box. It's more like how do you treat those things that you put in a box, right? Or do you let it go free and let it really blossom and grow? And I look at that analogy like I've always done before, like a plant or a seed when you plant it. Like, what does that look like, right? So, yeah, there are some fruits and vegetables that are dwarfed that you can grow in 12 foot buckets or whatever. And they say, hey, you can grow this like that, right? And you can grow it inside. That would be, to me, considered growing something within its box, right? You can take that seed, right? And you can put it in that pot as they requested with the right depth, and you water it and you feed it, right? Okay, so imagine you water it and then you neglect it, right? Your intentions could have been good for the plant, but the crazy thing about that plant is if you don't water it, it can't feed itself. It doesn't grow, and it can't feed you. When you pour into things with intentions, you want whatever you're pouring into to pour back into you as well. That is not always monetary, you guys. That is just, could be things like safe spaces. It could be things like, healing through trauma. It could look like just something that heals your nervous system. It could just be a listening ear. It could be intimacy. It could be a lot of different things, right? But if you have planted something within its box, which again is perfectly fine, are you pouring into that so it can grow, so that it can, in this place when I'm talking about that plant that feeds you, so that it can nourish you back? Because you can't expect to just put something there and expect for it to nourish you if there's instructions, or you have to read them, you have to be intentional, you have to do all these things. And then there's also the other things that I don't have to necessarily put in a box. I'm just go ahead and put it outside and let it really blossom. It's like that butterfly in its stages. It becomes created, it goes into its cocoon stage, and then once it's out of its cocoon stage, what happens? It becomes something very beautiful, which is the butterfly that is able to roam and fly freely, right? That's like the life cycle. And you want people who are fruitful in your life, that if there's a seed, it becomes something very beautiful because you've nurtured it in yourself and others. And I look at relationships and people like that. I'm not in any way wanting to be compartmentalized and unfed, right? I want to be, if I am compartmentalized, meaning I am considered precious or beautiful to somebody, that you pour into me. And that was a lesson I had to relearn for myself in 2025, right? And in my silence, I've really had to process that. And that, again, goes with your loved ones. It's also a part of too, a butterfly is a butterfly, right? A cucumber is a cucumber. A pepper is a pepper, right? Be your authentic self, whatever your environment is. Let's hope that you're growing in that. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever pretend to be something that you're not, just so that you can grow in an environment that's not really yours, right? It's just so many little moving pieces to, that self-discovery and growth piece when you're around people. Again, are you pouring into yourself? And if you're with other people, are they pouring into, are they understanding your environment? And if they are compartmentalizing you, where they're putting you, if they're letting you be free, then how are they loving you even in your freedom? It's just so many different ways to look at it, right? I feel like, my soul is very pure, and I don't mold myself to be a fit for everybody, right? I am who I genuinely am. I have a big heart, and I think a lot of times my big heart tries to also say accept people as they are too, and sometimes that can be good or bad, because yes, you can accept people as they are, but if they are again not pouring into you or not understanding what you need to thrive in your environment to pour back into you or the other person, it doesn't really work out that well, does it? Right? So I have learned the gift of discernment. I have learned to love people from afar. Then there's some of these connections that you find that are very 3 and 5D, right? You can feel somebody on a soul level, right? You can feel them in all the ways, and I mean, like, you don't even have to be around people, right? Or that person, and you can tell when they're not having a good day. You can feel it, and it's a soul connection. It is beautiful. It's just something very, very sweet, right? And you can feel all those things. You don't even have to be in their presence, to know that they're with you, right? But the hardest part is when you have those people who are in your life in that 3 and that 5 is when you feel them and they're not in their best place either. It definitely affects you, right? Y'all don't think that these ethers don't connect people through frequency who genuinely are supposed to be in your life? Yeah. And then there's some that don't, and you have to break those ties. So, it's just so many ways to look at it. I have been in unfortunate events where I've met people who are really horrible to me. And I met some that are beautiful, sweet souls that are intentional who have hurt me. And I've met people who are genuinely beautiful who need the healing, right? Doesn't mean that you don't love them and keep them in your heart space. I think a lot of times we just sometimes have to love them in the 5 and not the 3, which is here. And, wish people well. If you know the people or the person who is going through things that maybe destruct or destroy your spirit, you can pray for them too, right? Everybody who hurts you is not intentional, right? But those ones that are intentional, you feel that you got to break that tie, right? Like, what are you doing here? So you intentionally did that, bro? Like, who hurt you? Like, it'd be stuff like that. And then there's people who have been hurt or are still processing, and they're really trying. And that's the difference, right? Like, even with me, like, I'm really trying to process things, right? Yeah, might not notice about me, but yeah, I have a wonderful religious counselor, right? Even though I'm extremely spiritual, right? And I'm religious too. I have a religious counselor, and she has taught me the power of prayer and how beautiful that can be when it's intentional, right? I've had her in my life for about a good 2.5 years. My religious counselor, let me tell you something. She has shown me that prayer absolutely works, right? I can tell you on numerous occasions where she's prayed for me, and I mean with intention. And even when I felt like I just couldn't believe that I could get through something, I did, right? Because energy is magnetic. People who intentionally pray for you, intentionally hold space for you, pay attention to you, that genuinely understand that we are all healing, right? And granted, she's trained to do it, right? That's a difference. Some people are just trained to do it. So, some people are trained to do it. So, even if they are, doesn't mean they're not always intentional either when they see or get to understand people. So, but I just noticed that my counselor, I was a little bit hesitant about the religious piece, but because, I think sometimes religion can be very harsh. It can be very judgmental, even when you think it's not. Some people really are judgmental in that. And I kind of look at religion sometimes like, but then it's like, yeah, like I remember growing up, my family has a church, right? So, and they're very old school. This part of my family is very old school, very traditional, very beautiful, very successful. But my dad was kind of like what would be the word? My dad was like the question person. So he always questioned religion a lot. And if religion was this, then why is that? And, I'm not forcing my kids to go to church because I was forced to do it because my great-grandfather is a pastor who built a church, and it's still here to this day, and people go to it, right? My dad didn't necessarily force us into religion. My mom was a country little bumpkin. She went to church, but it wasn't necessarily a staple in her household too, because she was raised by a single mom who in turn, really she was raised by her aunties and cousins and everybody else. It wasn't forced, if you get where I'm going with that. But as I've grown as an adult, I've learned to understand it. I've learned that, I don't say use religion. If you're trying to understand religion, understand it at your own space, in your own pace. Don't get forced into it like a lot of people do it. Hey, I'm gonna force you to go to this and do Bible study. No, do it at your own pace, because you'll learn to understand it and grow with it more. So yeah, my religious counselor has been great to me. I am so appreciative of her. And granted, yes, I've had some things happen, and I've had some things lift off of me that helps me understand that, damn, like, I had a lot of things against me in my trying to be positive and be a good person. Not trying to be a good person, I'm a good person, trying to grow, trying to be a better person, trying to elevate, trying to evolve. There were so many roadblocks. And I'm just like, I just want to do right and do great. And I know my purpose is to help people, right? I know my purpose is maybe philanthropy. It might be, of course, legacy building. I want, if God blesses me with a daughter, to know how important this women's health is. I have a son now. I do help him a lot with understanding, like, the environment, the elements out here. I want him to understand even the Bible. I want him to understand so many different things, Mother Nature, how to properly understand and treat women. So, in my world of being, a Yannisine practitioner, which I've put on hold for a little while, it's been tough, but I am going back into that, you guys. In the world of being a Yannisine practitioner, I think men should also know about women's health too. But if I end up with a daughter, I think it's extremely important to help her understand that at a very early age. Children are very beautiful sponges, and as they elevate and become teenagers and grown-ups, I think it's super important to nourish your children I think it's very important to nourish the things that hold on, I'm about to close some more. I think it's very important to nourish people and start educating at a very early age if you can, especially when it's detrimental to their health. And I think health is one of those things that I take very seriously, you guys. I've been on my journey of just herbalism and just herbal healing. I am a person who enjoys helping people through that. It does something to me. It motivates me. It moves me. And I know that is where I am this year and what I'm going to be working on. But I'm also in the middle of working on building things. So I am, in a sense, a person who likes to take fruit and seed and grow it. I am a grower. Whether that means helping people educate and learn, whether that's to produce something from the ground up, meaning building, and make something beautiful, and to educate people to be better. I do think that is who I genuinely am, and that's where I get so much of my motivational urge and push to do in life. I think a lot of times we're always concerned about what people think about us, and I think that deters us from being great, because a lot of people, I'm saying a lot, there are people who don't want to see you do great. They don't want to see you perform optimally, and some people will say things and not breathe life into you because they don't breathe life into themselves or have people around them. So I just want to be that difference, right? For 2026, I want to be that difference. And not only my life, but other people's, because we all need a push, right? We all need good people in our lives, right? I think that is so important. We all need people who, instead of tearing each other down, which a lot of us do in this culture, yes, or you don't look to par or a certain way, instead of tearing people down, you build them up. You genuinely build them up. It's not about what somebody looks like or what they're going through. I think it's more about if you are going through things and you're trying to better yourself, but you just need positive people around in that journey. I think definitely go for it and be around those people and help people and not be so critical of people. It's okay to cry. It's okay to have emotions. We are human. We are human. Cut it out. We're so quick to make a spectacle about things that people are going through instead of just saying, hey, do you need an ear? Hey, how can I help you? Hey, how can I, if I can help you process something that maybe is very difficult for you? Be that person. Don't be the person who takes a screenshot and throws it on social media and makes fun of somebody. You could very well be that person who hurts that person so bad that they don't even want to be here no more. Don't be that person, right? We are all going through things. Shit is different out here right now, right? There's a lot of people going through financial difficulties, right? There are some people that can't find a way to end to a better start, right? But who are we to judge that? Who are we to be hurtful like that? We need to do better. We get our blessings by honoring ourselves and helping other people honor themselves, or helping other people too. Don't be so selfish out here in this selfish society. I feel like it's so selfish out here. They're so self-serving that we forget to pour into others because we have so much going on, and we got to pour into, our immediate family and people, right? But people who genuinely care about you and love you, they're going to pour into you. People who are genuinely concerned, they are going to pour into you. People who see you in distress and can calm you down, they're going to pour into you, right? Be that person. That's what I want for 2026. But I am not going to do that if somebody doesn't respect, understand, and treat me with the same amount of respect that's given. It has to be. It's not always have to be even, but it has to be fair. And I'm all about fairness. I don't play that game of tit for tat. Who can do it better than me? I can do it better than you. I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't think it's fair. If you're gonna care about people, if you're gonna help people, you're gonna do things for people, it's not a bragging right? It's how does it make me feel on the inside? How does that make you feel on the inside? Is it an honor to do that for you? I am grateful and know I'm doing it for you. It also heals a piece of me, or it helps to revitalize a part of me that has no price tag on it sometimes, you know what I mean? Who are you genuinely? And when it comes to kids, our kids are our future. How do we pour into our children? How do we pour into our children? Without, how do we adult out here in this world and pour into our children? They're our future. How do we do that? How do we nurture those little souls and not traumatize them? I can tell you from personal experience, a lot of us have childhood trauma because we have been traumatized. How do we break those generational curses, and how do we become that voice of positive reinforcement and great parenting? How do we do that? When I talk to my kid, there's ones you want a karate chop in their throat. Yeah, and will, right? There are also moments where, if anything, more than anything, you pour into your children in ways that helps them develop and become very beautiful human beings. Your goal is to raise good people. kind people, honorable people, so that we don't keep growing up in a world full of degenerates, right? Financial literacy at an early age, right? I'm 45 and I'm still processing that. Why? Because I think the environments we're in teach us how to do things. Sorry, my car has this little part that needs to be ordered, so if you hear a little loudness, I ordered the part, it just ain't got her yet. So my car is a little bit louder. My mom's telling you about that too. But no, it wasn't my motor or anything. It was honestly a part. But anyway, how do we pour into our youth? And I've also thought about this too. I've had some really dope people around me who do it. So I've almost thought about doing some collaborative efforts to become mentors for these children, because again, they're our future. How do we mold them into better? You know, everybody ain't raised the same, but can we help? What can we do out here in this world? What does 2026 really look for you? Like, don't just see the beauty in yourself, see the beauty in others, even when they're alien. Doesn't mean you have to compromise yourself for that either, right? That's deep. Don't compromise yourself because you see beauty in others that they don't see in themselves. If it affects you, right? Keywords, if it affects you. We want to see people grow. We want to see people become better. We want to see people heal. We want to see people process things. But if it comes at a place of harming you, it's okay to take a step back and love people from afar. That's something else. It's a very valuable lesson I had to learn from 2026. And sometimes people are in their trauma so bad that they don't understand that you're a human being too, and when you're pouring into this person, they need to pour into you too. And not just one-sided ways of pouring into people. But I mean, like, this is what I need, or what is it that you need? How can I help? And if I'm capable of it, I will. If I'm not, I can't. And if you can, it's cool. And you can't expect things from people when there's how can I word that? There's times where you can't always fulfill things by being self-fulfilling, right? If you can't pour into somebody who's pouring into you, going back to the beginning thing, it's okay to let it go. They all deserve to be poured into. All deserve to be poured into. And if you're pouring to somebody and they can't pour back, let it go. And start pouring back into yourself, because it drains. It really can drain. People who genuinely love you will try to pour into you more than in just one or two ways. People who genuinely care and love you don't always necessarily compartmentalize you, and when they do it in a way that honors you, because they're listening to you, not just doing it for themselves, right? How do we pour? Yeah, that's my 2026 for me. My 2026 is about growing, helping other people evolve, while not draining myself in that. And being a positive light in as many people's lives as I can, especially children, because mental health is real, y'all. And again, it starts with your childhood and it develops you into an adult. So how do I build things? I want to build more. I have some projects I'm working on that I really am super excited about, that I've been working through. I want to take some classes this year to learn how to build. And yeah, it's exciting for me. And I will get back into my herbal world, y'all. I have missed it so much. Oh my gosh, I missed it so much. But Big Mama had to work on some things. Big Mama's still working on some things. And in my working, I'm improving as we talk. So things are increasing, even though it don't be looking like it, right? And I'm just so grateful. I think that is a key word. Just be grateful for your stepping stones. Your little, be grateful for the little steps forward. Even if it's better than not making any, right? You guys just keep pushing. It's hard to be positive sometimes out here. But just keep pushing, y'all. It's going to get better if you want better. Keyword is if you want better. You want a lot of things. What do you want for yourself this year? And I'm going to leave it right there. Happy 2026, y'all. Yeah. I need to put some makeup on. Hey, bye.